Hello, how is everyone doing? It has been a long time since I made a diamond painting video, and I just thought I'd make one today, maybe get back into this. I'm not really sure, but we'll see what happens. My channel has been very dormant for a while, but I do have some diamond painting videos from the past up there from 2024. And I haven't really done a proper WIP and chat. I don't know if I've ever really done a proper WIP and chat. We're going to work at this one today. We're going to chat, bring you up to speed with life, with my life, at least. Oh no, I have some icky stuff on here. I set something on here and it's definitely got some dirt on it now. But that's okay. My cat is just playing in the background. She's got a little bag that she's playing with, but oh, she's a cutie girl. So a lot has happened since I last had a video. I know I still get comments on videos occasionally about when will you bring this series back, or thank you so much, this helped me, and I really enjoyed watching your desk organization and stuff like that, because my two popular videos are about hand charting your own diamond painting patterns in wind stitch and alternatives, as well as the day that I organized my desk. So those two videos still do get comments occasionally, and I get people asking for follow-ups, and you know, maybe they will, but a lot has changed. My workspace has changed. Right now I'm working on a like an overbed table on top of a light pad. And so I've got the overbed table, and it's actually not very stable. It's not like a hospital quality, but it works for now. And I guess I should talk about my tools. I'm using the twinkle tray from Firefly. Love the twinkle tray because it really helps with seeing the colors in the tray. It helps with the lighting. I recommend getting two. If you can afford it, I recommend getting two. I recommend getting a light one, and I recommend getting a dark one. Just because it really helps with the colors of the drills. So I know that like mine is pink because they have limited colors, or at least when I ordered they had limited colors. So I went with pink. But I think if I did it again, I would probably get like a mint green as well as like a dark one. And that just helps with your color variation. I do like this color tray. Hold on, let me grab it. Sorry, I've got all kinds of stuff in my trays. My keys. Okay. Just give me one moment. So this is the other color. This is mint. This is a this is one of their switch trays, because this hold on, let me take this out. I don't mind, I'm just putting these down. This is a switch tray. These come out. Oh, there's a drill stuck behind it. I was wondering why it was creaking all the time. It's because there's a drill behind it. But this switch, it has different tray types. There's a square one for single placing. If you're doing single placing and you just want singles and you can shake them out singly. Or there's one that will do little bars, and it's a cool tray These right here I used to put glue on my canvas. And we will probably talk about that when I get there. I'm very dissatisfied with the DAC glue right now. We'll just talk about it now. I've been putting glue on the canvas because I like a nice thick glue, right? I really like my diamond drills to sink right into the glue. So I've been using Make Market glue. I bought this in 2023 and I've only used like this much, and I use a lot of glue. I've used this quite a lot. I use it on almost every canvas. So you don't need a lot of glue. Like, this is probably a lifetime supply. But this is really good. I don't know if they still sell it. I was trying to find it on the website to show somebody the other day, and I pulled up the picture from Google Shopping, and it had the diamond art glue picture, but when we linked it, it said diamond painting sealant. And sealant implies that it's like a varnish or like something that's gonna coat it and make it a finished product. And that is not my intention. This is something that's tacky that you can, it's tacky that you can put the diamonds on it. You know, it's tacky, like sticky like yeah. So I'm all over the place. I'm very, I don't know. I just have a lot to talk about. I don't have an agenda written out or anything. We're just gonna yap and waffle. So, my tools, as I was explaining though, I have the Firefly Twinkle Tray. Now this is an old version. This one, you have to charge it with USB-C, but it has to charge from USB, from like the square USB to USB-C. And the new ones that they have, you can charge from USB-C to USB-C. So I might order another Twinkle Tray in the future. The charging really doesn't matter for me. I have both attachments, but I do want to get another Twinkle Tray. The battery lasts a really long time, so you really don't have to worry about it burning out while you're diamond painting, unless you're diamond painting for like 8 hours without charging it. I really think it could go longer than 8 hours. I feel like I hardly ever charge mine. I've maybe charged mine 3 times since I got it. And I maybe don't diamond paint a ton, but I've definitely worked on, this is the 4th row of this canvas using the Twinkle Tray. So that's gotta say something for it. It's got a great battery. I hope if anyone buys one, their battery is just as good as mine, because I find that it is very superior. Also, the canvas I'm working on, it's Close Encounters. The artist is Scott Howden. It's from Diamond Art Club. I'll let you look that up. It probably looks a little familiar if you notice this is like an alien woman or like an astronaut, and she's holding like an alien, like a little cat mammal thing. And it's got mountains and flowers and floral and just botanical stuff around, and the sky is kind of like a translucent, sparkly. There's lots of ABs in the sky on this one. I love it. I've really, really enjoyed doing this canvas so far. I started it for an event, and then I got distracted, as that happens in life. But I'm going to be finishing the canvas as soon as I can. I'm looking for my, now we'll talk about that too. Anyways, we'll talk about my kit up for this canvas soon. Anyways, back to my back to my tools. I have this chubby pen from Diamond Pen Pal. Love the chubby pen from Diamond Pen Pal. These are awesome pens. I think I heard this one first from Naomi at House of Miscellanea. Shout out to Naomi. This is like the best pen ever. I do enjoy thin pens too, though. This is the Cloud pen from Diamond Art Club, and this isn't a twist and pick, it's just a push in. But I do enjoy the thin pens, so I have this one for my two placer because it's so nice and light, you know, and it has a single placer on the other end. But this one is just perfect. I have a 7 placer and it's bent because it fell on the floor. I dropped it on the floor, unfortunately. It does have a nice bend to it now. And then I have my single placer on the other end. In the single placer, I use Dreamwax Studios beeswax. Now this is lemon verbena, I think. I don't know if they still sell it. It doesn't have an odor anymore because it's so old. She does a really good job. Highly recommend the beeswax if you like single placing. I highly recommend these. Dreamwax Studios. She's from Canada, and she just has great quantity, great quality, absolutely fantastic service. She is just got beautiful flavors or scents or whatever you'd call them, and she is just a wonderful person. Just a great small shop. And then my placers are from DAC, and the putty is a putty that I made myself. And it's like lemon Earl Grey tea or something like that, or lemon bergamot. And it's honestly not that great, but I've been using it because I keep losing my putty. I don't have a lot of putty. I'm actually, I'll be honest, I'm kind of new to putty. I have never really enjoyed putty that much until I started making my own. Now, I don't make any to sell, just to clarify. I will not make you putty because it's very hard on my hands. I have some slight hand issues. I gave up knitting because I was having hand and joint issues in my hands. And I find the diamond painting is not as bad on them. I find I would rather save my hands for typing than make them sore doing knitting and stuff like that. So I do a lot of typing. I think that's all my tools. The putty itself, it's hit or miss. Some days it's better than others. I don't think I'm a great putty maker. I just don't have any other putty. I do have the Art Dot putty somewhere, but I actually don't know where it is right now. My life is a little chaotic right now. I got a cat in September, and my apartment is just tore up from top to bottom with her some days. And it seems like anything that I leave loose on a table is bound to go missing or end up under a couch or a table or somewhere that I just can't find it. It's inevitable. So, let's also talk about the glue. Again, I use the glue. I wasn't finished talking about the glue, to be quite honest, but I use the glue, as I mentioned, and I just put it all over every section when I start the sections because I like that nice thick tacky glue. And I find that the DAC canvases, this is what I wanted to talk about. The DAC canvases have this glue right now. This canvas I bought in August of 2024. And this is the first canvas that I really had an issue for. Any previous canvases in the timeline, I haven't had any issues. But in 2024, this is about the earliest canvas that has had that issue with the glue. And this is when they started doing perforated canvases, kind of. but the glue just slips and slides. It's not very tacky. And some people say take your plastic off and let it cure for a few days or a month or so. Well, I don't really have that luxury. I have a cat. If I take it off and let it cure, it's going to get hair all over it. So I just put the glue on, and I don't mind. I just like to put a nice thick layer of glue. And it's not even a lot of glue. A thick layer is still not a lot of glue. Like, you don't need to coat it so that it's dripping, you know? It's diamond painting glue. You know what I mean? Like, anyways, I'll let you figure that out. But I love just a nice thick glue. So, probably when we last spoke, I was very ill. And some of this might be a little triggering. I don't really know. But I'm going to talk about some health issues now. So, I have gone through some health issues in the last couple years, and they are ongoing. Actually, before we get into this, let me talk about my kit up. I'm sorry to be so all over the place, but I do want to talk about the kit up. I kitted up. I use the Art Dot luggages, and I kitted up using the stickers from DAC on top of washi tape. Now, I did that because I want to be able to remove them from the vials without having residue. However, a lot of the stickers have been falling off, and I have some of them in the jars. Some of them are just gone. They don't stick very well. Again, glue problems. But, so I have to use the legend on the side. And normally what I do is I kit up and I write the numbers, not the DMC numbers, but the numbers on my jars. And then I use the sticker sheet as a reference, and it's so quick for me. I do not have the sticker sheet now because I used it for the kit up, and I will never do that again. I did not enjoy this experience of the stickers on the jars. I find it's very hard for me to reference. And now I have to look at the legend. I have to look at... Anyways, I'm just complaining now. But it's been very cumbersome, I guess is the word, maybe. Troublesome, at least. I'm very set in my ways, and I did have a great system, and I decided to try something new. And I'm actually going to try something new again. I've got some tray systems coming. I'm going to try Trabrix, and I'm going to try the Red 2 tray system. So we've got those coming, and they should be here tomorrow. But that will be another video, maybe. That's what I'm talking about. I might have some more videos coming. Back to the health issues. So in 2024, when I was making videos, I was trying to disguise it a lot, but I was very ill. I was very ill. I had lymphedema very, very badly. And I felt like life was coming to an end. It felt I got very sick, and that's kind of why I stopped making videos and making a lot of content, because I was getting very ill. And thankfully, in the worst case scenario, I got infected. I got an infection. Sorry, I'm having some troubles right now. My desk is uneven and I don't have a roll stop on my pen. That's one thing, you can get a roll stop on the chubby pens from Diamond Pen Pal. But I did not get a roll stop because I'm just like that. Of course I didn't get a roll stop. Anyways. In October 2024, I got an infection in the bottom of my leg in an open sore. And I had been getting wound care, but the infection got very bad. And I got very ill, and I got sepsis. And I had to go by ambulance to the hospital one night at about mid-October. And they took me to a hospital that had very good care. They immediately took very good care of me. And the best part is that they did not let on how serious it was, because I think I would have panicked. But they kept me very calm. They never really talked to me about how serious it was, how I might be losing my life, how my organs were shutting down, things like that. They were very, very calm with me about it. And I knew something was a little suspicious when they wouldn't let me walk anymore. I couldn't really walk very well, but they started using slings to move me from the bed to the ultrasound machine and stuff like that. And then they came in and they were like, we want to know if something happens, should we do everything we possibly can to save your life? And that's when I kind of knew that something was kind of up. But anyways, what happened after that, they took me to ICU, and there's a lot of things that happened. Obviously, in the hospital, a lot of things happen when they're taking care of you that you don't even know about sometimes. But they took me to the ICU and they sedated me. And when they sedated me, my family wasn't there yet, but they had to sedate me. It was very important that they sedated me because of they had to start doing life-saving procedures. And they actually ended up, my family came and was able to say goodbye to me because they thought that I wasn't going to live. I'm so grateful that I did live. I'm just so grateful for everybody and all the care that I received. But they had to transfer me to another hospital by ambulance. And at that point, I was on 14 IVs. And they had to get me down to 9 IVs to go into the ambulance. And so that was an ordeal, apparently. And that's why they thought that I wouldn't live. Because they had to take... Every IV was life support, I had to take some of those away from me for the ride. And I survived the ride to the other hospital. It's the biggest hospital in the city, and it has dialysis. And they started me while I was unconscious. I was unconscious for about a week. They started me on continuous dialysis. And my birthday is November 3rd. I was in and out of consciousness on November 2nd. That was the day that I woke up. I just remember finally I could hear somebody talking. When I was unconscious, it was like I was in a waiting room. I was in some sort of high-tech waiting room in my dreams or whatever. But when I woke up, I was a little conscious. And they were like, Jen, your sister is here. So my sister was there, and she was about to go home for the night because it was really late at night. And I was so shocked. Sorry, this is like emotional to remember, but I was so shocked to remember. I was so shocked to see her. I was so shocked that someone would be there, because I didn't even think I was that sick. And then, you know, as I was waking up, I was remembering, like, oh yeah, I was really ill. And the next day was my birthday, and when my parents came in the morning, I was already awake. And they came in the room, and I remember waving at them, and they were like, oh my God, she's awake, you know? Because they really thought that I wasn't gonna live. I was very ill. But my kidneys have shut down, and my kidneys no longer function. And I do dialysis 3 times a week. I used to do it 4 times a week. And originally they thought that I would have recovery for my kidneys. But now we don't think so, because while I was in the hospital for 2 months. The first month I was getting ready for discharge. And unfortunately, I had a heart episode. Hold on, I have to blow my nose. I'm sorry, that sounded probably really bad. I also have allergies, so my nose gets like itchy. Okay. Anyways, so when I had been in the hospital for a month, they were getting ready to discharge me. And they were getting ready to send me home. You know, things were looking good. They were getting me walking, and because I had been on bed rest and just bedbound for a lot of it, because they didn't want me. I was very weak. They didn't want me walking until I was strong enough to walk. And I was using a walker and a wheelchair and stuff like that. But on December 2nd of 2024, I had like a heart issue. I don't really know. My cardiologist called it an evacuation or something. I don't know, but I had to have 14 minutes of CPR. I coded. Then I had to be intubated again, because when I was sedated and unconscious, I was intubated as well. And because the second time around I had a very difficult intubation, I had to keep the intubation in while I was awake for about a week. I got it out. So I had the heart issue on December 2nd. On December 3rd, I did wake up. I wasn't unconscious for an extended period of time like I was previously. But they had to keep the intubation in until December 10th. Because they had such a difficult intubation that they wanted to make sure that if they had to intubate me again, they didn't think that I would probably survive or something like that. So they wanted to keep it in as long as they could. It was all very scary, but the staff kept me so calm, and they all took such great care of me. And now when I do dialysis, dialysis is just a fact of life now. It's kind of helped me get back onto a regular schedule. It's Monday, Wednesday, Friday. It's like a job, kind of. I go to dialysis, I do my dialysis, and then I come home. I'm gone for maybe, like 8 hours at a time when I do dialysis, because dialysis is 4 hours a time. But because I only go 3 times a week instead of 4 times, they've extended my treatments to like 4.5 hours. So I do dialysis for 4.5 hours. And when I come home, I'm actually quite tired. Some days I don't have to have a nap, but most days I do nap after I get home. And so dialysis is like a job. and it saves my life. And then this year I had more health news. Unfortunately, at the start of the year, when I had to have a little routine day surgery for putting a new IUD in, and they did a scope of my uterus, and they did like a DNC to remove fibroids, because I have had fibroids. Well, when they did the DNC, they did a biopsy, and the biopsy has shown that I have cancer in my uterus. So I'm also dealing with cancer in my uterus. And in a normal situation, they would do a hysterectomy and remove it. But because of everything that has happened in my complicated health issues, they aren't prepared to do a hysterectomy right now. We're doing very conservative treatment. So we're doing hormonal treatment. And we're hopeful that that will work. I absolutely hate the hormones. I'm having hot flashes almost daily. And I know that that's pretty normal for a lot of women, but it's absolutely frustrating sometimes. And I'm feeling strong and confident about everything. You know, my dialysis team really helps. They are just like, their care and compassion truly helps me. I don't want to take too much from them, but like, they inspire me to keep going. They are so strong, they are so positive, and they work so hard. And their care, and you know, the cancer care too, but I haven't really spent a lot of time with cancer care yet because I was only diagnosed in February. We're still kind of getting through the initial stages of this all, but just the healthcare staff has been so compassionate, and I just really appreciate it. I don't have any tweezers because my cat, she also took my tweezers. Unfortunately, my favorite pair of tweezers are under the couch and I can't reach them. But I'll get them out eventually. I'm just slow. I'm just slow these days. So what else have I been doing? Well, I started working in 2025 and I went back to my old job for a little while, but I got very burnt out very, very quickly because let me pull this up a little bit. Because, let me pull it down a little. There we go. That's good. Dialysis does take a lot out of you. And so I was working full-time and doing dialysis, and I thought that I could do it both. But in the end, it's just not worth it. It's really not. You know, earning a 5-figure income is a bonus. I do miss the money. That's inevitable. But, you know, it's definitely difficult to maintain with dialysis. And hold on, I'm just gonna change the top here. There we go. We've got a new jar. There we go. So I left the job. I didn't get fired. I just left. You know, I put my notice in and they understood. They were like, oh my God, yeah, like, that's fine. We get it. And, I have just kind of been doing my own thing ever since. I try to do, what was I doing in 2025? Well, I still stream on Twitch occasionally, and it's more of a hobby. I also, this year, most recently, let's just talk about most recently because I can't even remember what I've been doing up until now. It's all cumulative because I started decluttering my closets earlier this year. And I was inspired to start selling stuff on Whatnot. I had been trying to do press-on nails. And press-on nails are just not for me. I love press-on nails as a concept, but I hate wearing them. And I couldn't wear my own product. And getting my nails done is not for me either. So as much as I love fancy nails, I can't even do it. I just can't even. It's so sucky. But, I had all this nail supply stuff, so I started selling it on Whatnot. From decluttering my closet and everything that I was doing, and I made some sales. That was very positive, and it inspired me to keep going. And in the way that I kept going, I started looking at offline selling. And there is a market locally that you can buy table space at. And you can rent a table for a month. It's an indoor market on the weekends. And I now rent table space at the market. And I love it. I am having a blast. I am making sales. I'm even growing my inventory and finding more stuff in my closet to sell. And, you know, just every weekend I bring something new in to sell. Hopefully. I try as much as I can. But yeah, I like to go to the market and see what everyone's selling. It's like a flea market kind of vibe, but it has a lot of collectibles. There's like CDs, DVDs, records, cassettes. There's video games of all types. There is like retro all the way to the current systems. They have toys. They have 3D printer people. They have, you know, just anything that you could imagine is almost there. There's a lady who sells crowns. She has these beautiful crowns and jewelry. She just has a beautiful selection of interesting stuff that's like very luxury. I love it. They have Pokemon. Pokemon is really popular there. I sell Magic the Gathering altars. So at my table, what I sell primarily I'm there to promote my commissions for border extensions for altars. But I also sell the Magic the Gathering altars that I have done. I sell crystals and gems. I sell tea. I sell essential oils. I sell beaded pens. And I also sell diamond art kits. I'm destashing some of my diamond art kits at the market. Now, I don't sell them online in a D-stash or anything, but I have some of them for sale at the market. Some of the discontinued kits. And believe it or not, they're popular offline too. Diamond painters go all places. So, you know, the good thing is that someone can come to the market now and buy a diamond painting kit, like a DAC kit. I don't have too many at the market. I have 12. Well, right now I have 12. I had more before, but my stash is actually not very large. I mean, for some people it might be large. I probably have about 12 in my stash at home now, and I probably had, you know, maybe like 24 to take. So it's really, my stash is not enormous compared to some people. I'm not trying to compare though, but I had to definitely de-stash. And the good thing is that someone can come to the market and buy a DAC kit or a Dreamer Design or a Jaded Gem Shop or, you know, some of these premium kits and not have to wait for the shipping times. And so that is actually pretty darn cool. I mean, like, if you think about it, I think that's pretty cool. So, especially for like the ones that do take a long time to get shipped, like Jaded Gem Shop. And at the market, I love it because I also do live painting on my altars while I'm there. I also will do diamond painting demonstrations. So I have a diamond painting kit that I'm doing while I'm at the market. It is Sunset Blaze by Dreamer Designs. And you can go look that up if you want. And I just really enjoy the environment at the market. It's very social. There's a lot of regulars that come and like to visit, and I love that. The community around this market is definitely something special. It's almost magical. It makes me feel like it's like therapy in a way for me, in a social way. Without going to therapy, it gives me some sort of like, you know, like not therapy where let me rephrase that. It's not like therapy where your therapist gives you like homework or whatever, you know. But I don't know what the word would be. It's just very satisfying to go to the market and not only sell stuff, but just experience it. And I've been sick the last couple weeks. One day I had a really terrible stomach ache and I had to leave early and I felt really bad. And then last week was Mother's Day. It wasn't very busy. There was also a collectibles expo on in the city, so that is probably popular with the same crowd, if I'm being quite honest. But I'm looking forward to the market again this weekend, and it's a long weekend. The long weekends are open at the market because it's open Saturdays and Sundays from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. And I can do Saturdays and Sundays. But this weekend is a long weekend. It'll be open on Monday because it's May long weekend here in Canada. Unfortunately, I will not be there on Monday because I have my own schedule that I have to pertain to for dialysis. With dialysis, I absolutely can't miss dialysis, and I know that If I go to dialysis and go to the market afterwards, it'll only be there for about 2 hours. By the time I get there, it'll be about 2 or 3 hours. And I'll be very tired. It's just, it really just isn't worth it for me to go that day. Because overall, I just don't want to burn myself out too much. So that's what I'm up to. Otherwise, I'm painting altars. I'm working on diamond painting. I don't do diamond painting as often as I used to. I kind of just do it like mostly on Tuesdays and Saturdays because that's when the House of Miscellanea does her live streams, and I like to paint along to the live streams. I really enjoy Naomi's content, and if you guys have not checked out her content, I totally recommend it. She does a really good job, and if there's anything that you do want to see, like, I have my own little niche stuff that I do online, but she is a diamond painter who does really good diamond painting content. And if there's anything that you really want to see or reviewed or just unboxed or anything, maybe you have a small shop, get in touch with her because she does that sort of stuff. And I really find her content to be very valuable. If I could recommend a diamond painting YouTuber for life, that's the one for me. I have a lot of other YouTubers that I do follow, but I'll be honest, I don't watch everyone's content, and I watch every single one of Naomi's videos. So I don't mean to be here as like a fangirl or whatever, but like I just feel like my own experience with diamond painting has been so tied with her community and the Tuesday and Saturday live streams that she hosts is when I do a lot of my diamond paintings. So I'm gonna probably wrap up here soon, shortly. But that's kind of where I'm at. The content I'm planning on doing, I'm not doing the hand rendering anymore. I don't know, for right now I'm not doing it. I still have the software. I did purchase WinStitch, and I am appreciatory of that because it's a great software. If you're interested in learning hand rendering, I recommend getting a copy of the free demo version of WinStitch and just playing around with it and seeing what you can do, because it's a pretty powerful software. You can convert pictures into diamond paintings through computer generated, but you can also do hand renderings, and it's amazing. It's just an amazing, powerful software. So there is alternatives out there that are free. But I find that they're browser based. Often it relies on cookies in your browser, and I clear my cookies every once in a while, so I'm probably prone to losing stuff that's saved in my cookies. And I just find that I like to have a physical file. So this was like a double section. It's like a square and like a half. So that's why this is a really big square. But I'm going to go. Thank you so much for joining me for this whip and chat, this waffle, this whatever you call them. Like, I was just watching a diamond painter who called them her teacher's lounge. Now, I'm not a teacher, but I thought that was really cute. It's not a teacher's lounge for me, but it was very good to catch up with y'all. And if you do like diamond painting stuff, I do have some other videos. They're very old, from 2024 likely, but you might find some value to them. So feel welcome to go back into the archives and find out what you are interested in. And I'll be working on a better workspace soon enough, but for now, this is where I am at, and it's working fine for me for now. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you guys have a great weekend and week. It's Thursday today, so it's almost the weekend. So it's a long weekend in Canada. If you're going camping, I hope it doesn't snow. If you're doing something fun this weekend, regardless, I hope you have fun doing it. If you're relaxing, I hope it's a very relaxing weekend for you. You know, I hope this weekend is great in whichever way you need it to be. Take care, everyone. Bye.